They tried it with Lily Collins. They tried it with Kristen Stewart. Can there be a live-action Snow White that people actually like and watch? So Disney has, it's in the works. They've got a Snow White in the pipeline. And Snow White is, of course, Disney's first Disney princess, I suppose, first big smash hit animated classic, the animated classic, if you will, and it will be getting the live action treatment, much like Beauty and the Beast starring Emma Watson, much like the upcoming Mary Poppins, much like Cinderella that we've already seen, another iconic Disney princess. And this is coming down, written by Erin Cressida Wilson, who wrote the Girl on the Train adaptation, and will include new songs by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, who wrote the lyrics for La La Land. That's another recent movie, not very much in the vein of Snow White. And here it comes.
Yes, I'm excited. It feels like, okay, so there's so much stuff that I'm looking forward to coming out with Disney already. Like, because it just seems like they're announcing every classic that they want to do in live action. Like, The Lion King's going to get a new one. Aladdin, for some reason, Guy Ritchie is going to be the director on it. Like,
okay.
Is that going to be like, are we going to expect to see, like, Daniel Craig come out with a set of guns? Or, like, is he...
With, like, Aladdin's little hat and vest?
I don't understand
definitely.
what's going to happen with that. Like, it's, if you were to put a bunch of directors and be like, what would Guy Ritchie direct? This would be the last thing. But that being said, I'm still excited. I think that I'm excited to see Beauty and the Beast. I think that The Jungle Book has really rejuvenated my belief that a live action movie can really come back to life and have you reminiscent of the old classic, but also really enjoy the new modern day spin on it.
The Jungle Book, to me, is largely an animated movie, just because it's so much CGI, and that's exactly what Lion King is going to be as well. I mean, there are most people don't know this. There are no animals in the Jungle Book.
Yeah,
it's all animated, and I mean, there's models they're based on, but it's basically Neil Sethi, who's a little boy.
Yes, exactly.
On a massive blue screen set for a lot of it, the behind the scenes.
Just you have to be the only actor.
Oh, I'm a little boy, and I'm the only actor in this whole movie.
But yeah, I completely get that point. Is like a lot of it was CGI, but again, it's just like it seems like they're trying to find a new way. Feel like the best way to do it is just to allow Disney to put their own spin on what they want to do, because as we've seen, I'm sure you were going to allude to, the past different kind of takes on Snow White haven't really hit home. Like I
saw Mirror Mirror.
I
in
saw
theaters.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
I did not like it at all, because I think they were trying too hard to make it. I don't know. It just didn't ring true to me.
The title's
However, I didn't. Yeah, they were trying to be hip. It didn't really work. I think trying to make anything that's like a Disney classic or like Mickey Mouse hip is a huge mistake.
Yes.
Just go with what it's supposed to be and why people like it and play on that. But Snow White is my least favorite Disney princess.
Oh, really?
And she has been since I was a child.
Why?
I was trying to figure it out. I think it's because she's very passive, and I don't like that. Because when I was a kid, I was getting these, these Disney princesses and Disney heroines who are very active in their own story and trying to change their own fate and going on adventures. And to me, Snow White just reacts to things.
Yeah.
And then I remember at one point, this is probably just me, she, instead of actively trying to make Grumpy like her, she prays to God to make Grumpy like her, which made me like, why are you doing this? I was like a little kid. And I just thought I didn't like it.
Well, there's a good argument to be made that Snow White is really about the dwarfs, and like that's really a big tie coming into that storyline. And I think that the one thing that I do give credit for Snow White and the Huntsman, I haven't seen the second one. I mean, the first one was okay. Kristen Stewart, decent.
Well, the second one doesn't even have Snow White. It's
it's
the Huntsman. You know that character everyone loves from the story of Snow White?
Yes.
That guy.
But the people they got to play the dwarfs, I actually really liked in that movie. I thought they kind of carried the movie. We had Ricky Gervais was one of the dwarfs in it, I believe. There was who was the other British actor? Forgetting his name. Who's that? Nick Frost was also in it. Good one. But there was also
I like him.
Ray. Just gonna call him Ray, and everyone will know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he was in it, and I think they actually carried the movie a little bit, because it's all about that, in the British terms, banter between them when they were getting back and forth with each other, and I thought it's kind of enjoyable. I like it. So you never know. Maybe they make this live action movie a little bit more focused around them, but also with Snow White in it. And because the huge part of the draw as that movie when I was a kid, I was always seeing myself as grumpy or sleepy. Like I love
Really?
I love the
Oh,
characters,
I like to hear
especially
this.
when I watch that.
'Cause
So
I wonder, how do little boys relate to these movies that are ostensibly about, a girl
well, the
hero?
same thing is in modern day times, it's completely acceptable to see yourself as Snow White as well, whatever way you want to
no,
see.
that's
So
100%.
I think
but
that
it's an interesting take to hear.
I think that when I was younger, I just always I was grumpy if I never got to see it. So I used to just thought, even when I was still on, I'd be like, no, I just watching it, but I'd still be happy to be watching it. So maybe that was just a Scottish thing. But I really like the. That was what drew me into that movie. It's still one of my favorite old times. It's still one of the ones that I'll sit down and watch. I mean, it was the first honorary classic Oscar, right? That won it for the Disney animated series.
At the 11th Academy Awards, which was
11th.
a long time ago.
Yeah, and I think those guys that judged that are still judging the current Oscars.
Oh, burn on modern times Oscars.
There you go.
Hashtag. I think this has a lot of potential. Maybe it will make it a more modern tale without making it too divergent from what the core of it's supposed to be, which would appeal to, I guess, kids like me who wanted a more active hero in their story. Or it could just, I don't know. A lot of people aren't digging the remakes, even though I think they look great so far. Audience, do you want to see the Snow White remake? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.